Hello and welcome to Who Dares Rolls. Here we are again. How are you all? We're all fine. We are now. Things are on the improvement. However, would you Adam and Eve it? Would you? I cracked a tooth on this side of the face, literally the other day at work, and cracked a tooth. So, oh God. Anyway, so I'm going to sort that out before that becomes an issue, unlike the other one that became an issue. But there we go. So that's I literally give up at this point in time. Anyway, that's my disasters aside. I hope you're all well. I hope you've been playing games. That's kind of the important thing. Yeah, that's the main thing. I mean, Spiel is coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Covered a bit of it the other week. Not really much to say because, as I said, I've not played anything from last Spiel, I don't think. I did, or really seen a great deal of enthusiasm. I mean, there was Gollum was kind of, at one point, was kind of the thing, but that's kind of, They Live, I brought up last week, someone has mentioned that it should be at retail, but no one's seen it. I'm meant to have a look, and I haven't. But I might look, and if not, maybe reach out to the guys who designed it and see where it's available, what we can do. Because, just my completist about me kind of wants to, have it. But I also kind of interested to see how it plays, because it's kind of a cool movie. So there's that. That's it. So anyway, that's where we are. I've been playing some games at last. So with that in mind, what have I played? Played games. Well, so we played some Spartacus, played again the other night, a bit of Spartacus. We played a 5-player game of that, with everything in expansions and all that. The Shadow of Death came out and he was running around causing havoc with lots of fights endured. Very close, actually. Everyone was between me and Ben towards the end, but just a rip-roaring game of dice rolling and mayhem and bitching each other over and being absolute bastards to one another. It's fun. It is what it is. I was very surprised and taken back that Ben actually offered to play it, considering he does like a stato. He loves a stato, but he went for it and he played it, and he didn't whinge whine and was actually I don't know what's going on. Very surreal. So we played that. The last week, Tony brought along, because I can't bring it along. We were going to play Twilight Imperium, and then actually, as it turned out, the bank holiday, I was going to go to work, and then it turned out I didn't go. And it's a long story. Anyway. Tony brought Carson City, the big box edition. Now, this is one that for a long time I kind of ummed and ahed about, and it kind of just dropped by, and it kind of kapow! No, Carson City, no, be gone. So I was going to go into a big deep dive into Carson City, and I did. However, when we played it, I didn't take any shots of the game when we played it because I didn't have my phone with me. And the plan was, I presumed Tony would bring it next week and we'd play it, and I'd take some shots then, and then I'd be able to kind of give you something visually a bit more appealing than my face. But he didn't bring it, so I didn't. So you know what? I'm going to park Custody until I can come back and play it again, because I thought it's good. It's a long story short. It's really tight, interesting worker placement. Fucking interesting. Western based. It's kind of I get a Great Western Trail vibe from it. Kind of, well, Great Western Trail kind of just kind of procures some of the stuff from it, but it's got that kind of that vibe to it. But I like more what that does. It's got worker placement. You have shootouts and all sorts of cowboy. The cowboy theme really kind of comes through. Enjoyed it. Really good. Well, we'll come back to that when I play it again and play some of the modules and take some photos. So anyway, what we did play just weekend just gone was Nemesis Lockdown, which I've only played a couple of times, to be fair. I backed up the Kickstarter, got all the bling. I have it. I also have the original Nemesis, and I picked up the Aftermath and some other bits at the Kickstarter when it did. So got both. I've revisited this, played this. This essentially does pretty much the same thing. The monsters are different. The main mechanism that adds to it, which is kind of cool, is darkness. You have different floors in the base in this one, and you power whether they're lit or not. And the main thing with darkness is there's two effects. Number one, in a lit area where there is lights on, the noise tokens you create by moving around and doing stuff will come off during lit areas, as long as you're not adjacent to them. If there's not someone in the room adjacent to them, they will come off. So you can clear out areas of noise, which is a really helpful kind of mechanism. Something that the original game doesn't have, other than when you get attacked. And it has darkness, and the darkness, essentially, number one, the tokens won't come off, but secondly, all the attack cards and some of the event cards have also additional modified effects if you're in darkness, and invariably they're terrible to you. They're bad stuff. But that's pretty much it. It kind of it misses around. You've got, instead of escape pods, you've got these pods that launch and you don't know when they are at certain times, and there is an end game mission that you need to find out what it is, and that will, it's out of, I think there's about 8 or 9 different ones of these tokens, and they're randomized at the start. One goes down. That will be what affects the eventual end game, and it could be anything from everyone needs to be safe and friendly and nice and get out, to if you're not in this room you die, or if you've not done this you die, or something else. And then you will, like Nemesis, have your own objectives that you're given. And that's pretty much it, other different characters and all that. It feels tighter, it's a bit more streamlined, but essentially it's the same game. It takes forever to fucking set up. This is the thing why I've not played it very often, because I'm like, oh my God. And I announced, Robbie was keen to play it, and I was like, oh, but it's going to take me 45 minutes to set up and play. And he poo-pooed me on that thing. And sure enough, the timer was set, and it took us about 45 minutes to actually set up and get playing. Which is like, oh, it's a game, so we play more regularly with thing. Anyway, long story short, all of that. If you've not played Nemesis, I did a review ages ago of Nemesis, and I really enjoyed it. I even compared it to Lifeform, and they are different beasts, and I need to revisit Lifeform and possibly Nemesis again. Where I'm standing on this at the moment is, I don't think I need this. I don't need both Nemesises in my life, because they very much do similar things. I'm currently coming down on the fact that I think I'm going to get rid of Lockdown. Whilst I think it maybe is a slightly leaner version of the game with the tweaks and twiddles, I have all the extra stuff for the base Nemesis, and I think it works better, potentially, with base Nemesis. And it's a spaceship to think of it. So I'm kind of coming on that at the moment. I am like, yeah, it was fun, enjoyable. It was Nemesis. It did the Nemesis vibe, but then Nemesis does that for me. I don't think this is doing enough different, personally, to really make me go, The aliens, the Night Stalkers, were a great concept, I thought, initially, but I don't think they really did a good job of delivering on them in the game. They could have been better, and I think there could have been more mechanisms to them, to more play into the vampiric bat creature night things, and we don't really get that, and it feels like a missed opportunity. And there is the Kickstarters of these weird tentacle sort of growth fungi kind of creature that I haven't played around with, and probably, let's be honest, won't. So there we go. So Nemesis Lockdown, I think it's going to go. I think, whilst it's nice and the bling is lovely and all that, I've got Nemesis. I think probably it's I'm not going to play it, but how often am I going to play this? And which one of the two will I play? And it takes forever, blah, blah, blah. I need to play all the Aftermath stuff at some point. So personally, it feels to me that this is, on rotation-wise, it's just not going to get seen very often. So it's a farewell and adieu to Lockdown. I will sort it out, and I think it will go on to the old, I'll flog it, basically, and probably spend the money on something else. Gamey. I'll see. I've got some back pay coming, a small amount of back pay, which I may treat myself to one thing for that, I'm thinking. So there we go. That's that. Okay, so, and that's it. We haven't really played much else. Ben has on Mars, the Vita Lasada game that he is teasing potentially for this weekend coming up. I think he's backed Weather Machine and all the other Lasada stuff. So I think he's got all Kanban, all of that coming. It was his last Kickstarter, hurrah. So it looks like on Mars has turned up, and that's one he's tempted to play. So I've never played Lasada games. I know they're big meaty Euros. They're quite heavy. And there's various different themage in them. I've never played them. So it will be, I've heard good things, but yeah, we'll see. Here is the news. More played stuff, actually, before we do the news. So the other night, we got this to the table, Gocaine, which was something I was sent to review, and I must admit, I initially picked it up because I thought it plays up to 6 players. I did a video a little bit on this. It's based on the game Go, but it's now been made for 6 players, and over it is the theme of you being cocaine smugglers, dealers. The discs you're putting down are parts of your drug network, and you buy goods from the bottom of the board is cheaper. You can transport across the board, and the top area, if you sell it, you get money. Whoever gets the first to 1 billion, I think it is, wins the game. The actual rules are relatively straightforward. It's basically you do one of these things. You can increase the amount of transport capacity of your drugs. You can increase areas where you have a better control of the local authorities, so that if people try and use these chits you get given, which are basically interdiction or something. They're like, essentially you send the FBI and you can try and capture shipments or stop them or get them lost or whatever on the board. So there's all this kind of thing going on, and Go, the game in amongst it. And the idea is with Go is essentially was a 2-player game of you trying to surround your opponent's discs, take them off the board to score points. And it was this very sort of chess-like, but Zen chess, much more going on. I haven't played Go for ages, but I used to really enjoy it. It's really one of those chilled sort of spend a while doing. So this takes that concept, all that, as I said, takes Go and then turns it into a 6-player game with this whole cocaine drug dealing thing thrown on top of it. Crazy, yes indeed it is. We played it, we got some rules wrong, been a while since I played Go anyway, so we actually played the basic rules, very simple to play when we were playing it. Bob failed to grab the concept of surrounding the bits and removing them, and to be fair, when I was doing the ruling to surround the things, I forgot it was only the cross. It's only the 4 points around that cell. If it gets surrounded by those 4 points, it's gone, and you can do it with groups. There was a couple of points actually we'd missed it, and we should have taken bits off. So okay, so that was kind of trial one. How is it? Well, you know what, I think I need to play again for starters, because that would make a massive difference. This game of this area control and the drugs, it is a weird mix, and I'm not yet convinced if it really works or if it's completely bizarre and broken. However, it's got still, I know I initially thought it had the germs of something kind of could be cool. I still kind of stand on that. I would at no point recommend this at this point in time, and I know it is available on Amazon. Let me play it again a couple more times, try and get the rules right, because I think it's something, if you played it enough times, there might be a strategy to it. It actually moves quite quickly once you get going, and you can zip. It's very quick actually. It's faster than I thought it was going to be. So I think it's one that I definitely can get back to the table. I think as you understand it better, and the concepts of the placement of the things, because what we were playing it was kind of potting stuff down, but not really. I think the other guys, definitely Robbie and Bob, were not thinking too carefully about the placement of stuff, whereas I was at least kind of working the principles of blocking off areas. But yeah, interesting, bizarre. Not still, the theme is, I get why the film, but I don't know, it's not really mass market, that's what I'm saying. However, played that anyway, and whilst we fucked it up, it is not actually beyond the powers of being all right. News. Now we're news. News, that really not much news other than Snowdonia, Mr. Boydell is putting another expansion up for Snowdonia. Now, we already had Snowdonia with multiple expansions. Then we had, and I'm not going to drag it off the shelf now, but we had last year, a couple of years ago, we had a Kickstarter for the Master Snowdonia box set, which is massive box of Snowdonia, which I have, is on the shelf. I should pull it off and go, look at this size. And it is, oh, fuck it. All right. Oh. See, now the microphones come off the fluffy things. Where is the fluffy thing gone? Really? Just gonna vanish. Where'd it go? Oh, God. Fuck my life. Oh, that went seamlessly. Absolutely fucking fade to black, you know. Snowdonia Master Set. Yeah, so there is a whatever. Anyway, there's an expansion coming for Snowdonia. For this is fucking huge. This came out, as I say, a couple of years ago, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, it has. So you've got. I've sorted mine out. So there's all the cards for all the. There's multiple expansions in this. Multiples. There's there's lots of rule books. That I think is just the scenario books. Okay. And then there's all sorts of other stuff and a ridiculous wooden die, you know. If you like Snowdonia, then you will probably already own this. There's lots more stuff in there. Just to be on the record in regarding to this version of Snowdonia, I don't think. I know I haven't. I've not played all the expansions in there. In fact, I've barely scratched on the surface of them, if I'm honest. Because so there's one I need to dive back into, and one I definitely really, I could play that for probably the next year or two and not play anything else. That's what's in there. So there's another big, for this, I don't know. I love Snowdonia. I think it's a great worker placement game. Of you, and the idea how this really works as different versions is you have the board, and then surrounding the board, well, I think it is, but anyway, surrounding the board is a set of cards, which are you going in the base version of you trying to put a track all the way up to Snowdonia mounting and get that done and get your track running. And it's kind of a race, and there's an automated system of it moves fast, and it's used this race of you trying to build an economy of get stuff to build stuff to lay track and get to the top, and lots of little things like that. The base game, fantastic, works wonderfully, enough variety alone in that base game actually with the different cards and layouts and stuff. It's kind of cool. And then expansion came on top of that, and it adds multiple different things where it can change what that card means, what the cards are doing, or the weather patterns, or all sorts. Loads of tweaks, and loads of little different mechanisms and shit going in there. It's very cool. Now I need to play it some more. But anyway, there's an expansion coming for it. Massive expansion, allegedly. Do I need more Snowdonia? Frankly, no, is the short answer to that. I don't need any more of this. I've not played a fraction of what this is. However, I'm intrigued. So that's going on. So that's exciting. It was it. So the website, just newsworthy on the website. So currently, as we speak, I am attempting to transfer Who Dares Well's website to a new hosting provider, which relatively straightforward, other than the fact that twice now the migration of the site has failed because it wanted this and then wanted that and then something else. So I'm hoping, as we speak, that process is working and completing, and that will be done. Once that is out of the way, I will look back at the website and do some tweaking with it and maybe tie it up and stuff. But it's now locked in for another 4 years on that, so it was a good deal. And so Patreons, thank you for that, because you've kind of funded that process. It was wonderful. Very seamless. Hopefully it works. So that's going on there with us, and that's kind of it really for the news. There's not really much news. I looked. I mean, we had Simon put out the June game onto Kickstarter. Ridiculous expensive, lots of minis. You knew it was expansions were going to come. It was going to be hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and then they're going to charge you double that for the postage. So generally, where I'm at with crowdfunding at this point in time, I don't think realistically I will be crowdfunding very much, if anything at all, going forward. As you hadn't noticed, the British economy is fucked, So yeah, that's happened. Yes, that all happened the other week. Literally within a few days. I think it's about 2 weeks. Truss has been in power in her new job, and has managed to actually not only fuck the British economy and UK generally, but on a global scale as well. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment. So yeah, I'm staying away from Kickstarter at the moment because, frankly, the exchange rate is shit. And it's expensive, and the postage is killing us. And I've covered a thing before, is I got all these fucking games. What I am in the process of doing is starting to play through this stuff that's on the shelves to see, is it any good? I already was doing this for a while, but yeah, let's get stuff off and let's justify your existence to the board games. Get them off, play them. Is it good? Did I enjoy it? Do I want to play it again? Do I want to keep it? And that's kind of the process I'm at, because there's a lot of stuff here. And realistically, if I should stop now and just play these games and play them, weekly, daily for the next 4 or 5 years, if I was able to do that, I don't think I'd still get through all of them, really. And that's really realistic. I get a couple of game nights a week. That's it. It's going to take me months, years to get through this, possibly decades. And I've got Frosthaven on the way, which is due maybe the end of the year, hopefully next year, because frankly, at the moment, so that will come. And then when that lands, it's really the Sunday night crowd. The boys are going to want to play that, and that's a year's worth of gameplay. And we did really go deeply on that before. It did mean that really we weren't playing very much else on Sunday nights. So we'll see how that goes, because once you're kind of deep into that sort of, this is good, it's very hard to pull away. So that will have a bang-on effect, a knock-on effect to my games and what we do in that regard. So we'll see how that pans out. Friday we'll still play what we can play. So yeah, there's stuff going on, things to contemplate. So yeah, long story short, it's going to have to be really fucking good, the Kickstarter, whatever it is, and reasonably priced to really get my interest. The only one on my radar really currently is the Escape from New York one from Pendragon, because of the theming. And it's got Kevin Williams, as the designer. He's done some good stuff. So yeah, I'm enticed, but that is the only thing on the radar. And I think it's due next month or the month after. I will see. They're localish, they're European based, I think. The thing was a reasonably priced Kickstarter with good postage on it at the time and everything else. So let's see how, when we get to the launch of the project, what we're talking and how it plays. Because I saw a bit the other day which was card based. And I was kind of like, I was thinking of something different. So I really would come down on how it plays, actually. The theme has really grabbed me, but if the gameplay doesn't look like it's doing what I want it to do, then we'll see. But it's go to New York, you know. I'm looking around. I don't know what I'm expecting to fucking happen. But so there we go. So that's where we're at. I have to come clean with something else. I restarted my World of Warcraft account the other day. Because well, they sent me a free update to the Shadowlands, I think it was, and a little character boost. So I thought for a month's subscription, I'd just dip my toe, have a little play for the new content. I know there's another one coming due in a couple of weeks' time, a month or whatever. They got the new one, but I love hate affair of WoW, as we know. I may have covered that before previously. I do enjoy dabbling in and out of it. So anyway, Oingo Boingo, my gnome warlock has been resurrected. He's out, he's loose again. I'm going to have a little play with that. I think Robbie has got the breakage strain of a Kit Kat, has also gone, I might join you. And I quite like I've looked at it, and the end game of this version of it has like a Slay the Spire-ish kind of raid system that you can go into and kind of have crazy leveling up and go through. So I'm interested. I'm not trying to encourage you to get on there, for fuck's sake, so I understand that. But yes, I've been naughty. Other than that, son number 2 is in Miami as we speak. Yeah, he's Miami as we speak. He's at this game fucking thing. So I'm sure I covered it before. Basically dropped it on us the other week. Oh, by the way, I've been playing VR game, this Veil. That's all I know. Veil VR is like a shooty VR based game. His Tim had got through to the finals or quarterfinals or something, and it's happening in Miami, and he was being flown out there, boffed in a hotel to play one of 4, I think, teams that have got into the finals. I don't know. Anyway, that is happening. He's out. He flew out. It was a bit touch and go. There was whole issues over. He told us late. He had to get his vaccine sorted. It's all sorts of chaos and anarchy, as you know you would expect with teenagers. And he's out there. He's out there now. I think it's at some ungodly hour of tonight, tomorrow morning. He's playing. I don't know more than that. He's not really communicating. It's really shit. Son number 1 is getting some communications from him, but he has really not shared very much. And I know enough that it's this Veil thing. I know it's this thing happening over the next day or two. He's back Monday. Maybe I'll get more news about him. And then I think there's like a 20 grand prize for this if the team gets through. So there's lots of cool stuff. But yeah, I wished him well. I hope him the best. If he gets good at this, I can retire. Fucking fantastic. I'll become his manager, maybe. But yeah, that's happening in my world. That's what's going on. And that's it, really. So I've got some games hopefully played over this weekend, hopefully. I don't know. I think Robbie's out this Sunday, so there's only 3 of us. I'm toying with Through the Ages, teaching the boys that, and maybe just spending a leisurely Sunday evening trying to play through that. Maybe. I was also tempted by the Aliens Gale Force 9 game. I kind of fancy maybe getting that back to the table because I wasn't 100% on it. I don't know. Could play Snowdonia. Maybe Tony bring Carson City. There's lots of options. Anyway, so there we go. That's what's going on. The website's happening. I will look at doing some shit with that. Charlie's done Playing With Himself podcast. He's put that out along with his Star Trek thing. I'll try and remember the link. I've got reviews actually to still edit. Oh, fuck me. And all of this shit's happening. So there you go. Busy. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Who Dares Rolls. That is a wibbling thing. And I haven't fucking covered what I was watching. I haven't even spoke about that. So just very quickly, Wings of Power. Been watching that. Watched the most recent one of that. I kind of like what it's doing. And I mean, it looks gorgeous. And it's done a little bit of kind of like waiting. It's kind of been paused for the last couple of episodes, waiting for everyone to kind of fall into place and the story to kind of, and it's kind of kicked off in the last one. It's very good, very cool, looks gorgeous. It depends really of how much you love the Lord of the Rings and the Jackson movies, because this is very much kind of prequelish to them. It offers a lot to it. It's not based on, it's not linked to Jackson or any other team, but yeah, it is very beholden to that. And it looks gorgeous. I mean, I can't knock it. They've spent like billions on it. I don't know, millions of billions, whatever the fuck it was. But you can see it. And then there's Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. We're on similar things. I'm really enjoying what it's doing now. It's been a little bit of a struggle here because it's been slowish moving. A lot of people talking. But it's got these time jumps. It's unlike Thrones, where it was kind of slow, ponderous, and kind of give you the world and the characters. This one actually is big time jumps between episodes at certain points, which is a bit jarring at first. But once I've got it, and especially the most recent episode, which has done a big time jump, I kind of like what it's doing, and it's starting to feel like Game of Thrones. They've got some good actors in there now, but they had the great cast before, but the new cast has just come in. It's even better, and I'm really fucking liking it. And I think I enjoy it more Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. I actually really enjoy Game of Thrones. And I like the aesthetic of Game of Thrones. It's a horrible fucking world. But I just like the interplay of the characters, and it's a bit more grown up, and it's a bit more... And I'm digging what they've done in the most recent episode. Rings of Power is fine. It's perfectly fine, but I'm enjoying it and watching it from afar, but not like gripped. But yeah, Game of Thrones for me, I'm enjoying that at the moment. Andor, fucking fantastic. We've got 4 episodes of that out now. The first 3 dropped the other week and one more's come out. Just feels like a breath of fresh air. Number one, it's set. It's on sets, it's locations, it looks gorgeous. No more volume. I liked the volume, but they overdid it. And I love this just gritty, it looks wonderful that they're filming on sets and locations and stuff. Great cast, wonderful script, adult script, actual character motivation, actual character building. It's just slowly moving through. And I like the plot as it's expanding, and the whole thing about the Empire and how it's showing the bureaucracy of that and all the... how it's just fitting... It's all kind of that. It's Tony Gilroy, who did Michael Caine, which is a fantastic movie. If you've not seen it, go and watch that now! And then Andor is, brilliant, cracking. Can't say enough. It's one of the finest bits of stuff they're doing at the moment. Adult, you know what I mean? It's an adult. I have some issues, but very little. Generally, on the whole, I think it's fucking fantastic. And I can't wait to see the whole of this. There's 2 seasons apparently planned of this. Will bring us right bang up to New Hope. And so far, how it's going and what they've got going on, I am loving this, and they should keep Gilroy around. Don't let him fucking leave, because I want more adult Star Wars like this. I love all the swishy swashy buckle and all the space wizards and laser swords, and all very nice. But this I'm really enjoying, and that's a recommendation for me. And then I think that's it at the moment. Yes, that's it. I am done now. I am going to back away slowly, quietly out of this. Lovely to see you all. Look after yourselves. Play some games. It's getting cold now, isn't it? Winter is coming. And fuck knows what's going to happen. I'll be probably huddled around burning board games by the end of the year to keep warm. So there we go. That's it. That's us. That's done. Farewell. Adieu. Be off with ye. Go and do something more important. Go and find some wood or something. Sell a child. Fuck it. Bye.